Welcome to BWB, where we reignite the joy of reading in those who have lost this amazing habit and inspire you to dive into two new books every week. We uncover life changing lessons, relatable insights from most thought provoking books of the century. Tune in and let us distill the essence of these treasured reads into actionable life skills perfect for busy life. So, last Sunday of the month, we have something exciting that is BWB Mega Swiss Sale. So, don't miss that because you have the opportunity to win lots of goodies. And tune in and listen to these insightful conversations from the fiction novel Robinson Crusoe and nonfiction novel The Tiny Habits. Today's discussion will be the insights from these two books. So, over to you, Geeta. Please start the conversation.
Hi everyone, welcome to BWP. So, I have a question for you all. Would you risk everything for an adventure, not knowing if it will bring you success or disaster? But someone did, one person did, Robinson Crusoe. And that is why he became the icon for survival, self-reliance, resourcefulness, and the ability of the human mind and the spirit to adapt to any kind of situation. So he defied the comfort of his home, disregarded the wise counsel of his elders, and he set sail for an unknown future, unknown destination, and he faced a lot of misfortunes. He had a lot of problems that he had to go through, and even was captured as a slave. But in the process, gave us a lot of lessons, lot of insights and takeaways, which we will be exploring in BWB by and by. So now, Robinson's life as a slave under the pirate captain, the Turkish Moor, begins. So the master did not ill-treat him, but he doesn't have his personal freedom. He's just a menial laborer, working at home, tending the garden, and taking care of the house. And Robinson's resourcefulness kicks in. He's a very resilient person. He learns how to manage himself there. He becomes closer to his master by showing his dexterity in fishing. And every minute of the day, he plots how he could escape from the slavery. He doesn't rest. He's always creating opportunities where he may be able to escape. And a chance comes. Or you could say create the chance after 2 years of waiting. And one day when he goes to fish, because usually he goes to fish and bring the fish to his master. So when he goes fishing, he throws the guardian Moor into the water and escapes with a young slave. Who was with him, and they set sail on the open ocean. So they have to go without water. They have to go without proper food, and they face, wild beasts and primitive naked people. We don't know whether they are cannibals or not. And they are just drifting in the open ocean. And by his, kindness of maybe the providence, a Portuguese ship that was passing by notices him, and the captain, who is kind and honest person, takes him in and reaches him to Brazil. And Brazil at that time was growing sugarcane and tobacco. So even the captain pays him for all the stuff that he had in his longboat, and even gives him money for the longboat so that Robinson has a little bit of money. And he recommends him staying with one of the tobacco planters so that he can work for him. And as Robinson works for that planter, he learns how to cultivate sugarcane and tobacco. He learns how to do all that management of the farming. And he notices that people who are getting prosperous are those they have land. So he uses the money that he has to buy as much as uncultivated land as he could get, and he starts as a tobacco planter now. And he has a neighbor who is in the same status as him, and they collaborate with each other. So by and by, the captain, he gets that half of the money that he had kept with his, the widow of the captain earlier, and he brings him good stuff, clothing and iron implements. And even he brings him a servant on 6 years bond. So now Robinson, he's able to invest more time and money on his farming, and then he sells even that clothing, and he gets more money, and he gets a European servant for himself, and even an African slave for himself. So in 2 years time he is really very prosperous, and he has reached that prosperity as if of a higher status of a middle class, which his father had would have given him if he was there with his father there in York in England. And now he feels regret that he is doing the same thing which he would have done if he was there in York with his father, and here he is away from his desire of going on a adventure, and he is doing something which his mind is not set in, and he feels that he is like a castaway in a desolate island, and he feels very sorry for himself, and he feels now he has to prosper more, and he has to prosper more than what the nature of the things intended. Now this is how situation is going on, and I am so surprised. What do you think, Siddharth? Do you have something to say about this? Is this really normal? I am really at sea here.
Thank you, Dr. Geeta. That is an amazing story to just take a insight from. And I can understand that this is about his restlessness, which was going on and on. Sometimes he was feeling that he could have stayed, but then he was also restless, and he wanted to make more money. He wanted to do something else. So there was something which was going on in his mind, which was more of risk taking. And I feel in our life, we do get into situations where maybe we are complacent at a point of time, and then we feel that, okay, we now are too lazy. We need to do something. That's where we start taking risks. That is something exactly what happened to me when I was in US. I had a very complacent life, going to office, coming back from office, and spending time with my friends, and that was it. And then at some point of time, I was like, is this what the great life is all about? I felt complacent at that point, and I was getting lazier every day. Every passing day, I was getting lazier. So that was when I thought of taking this risk. No, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to explore more, and I want to do something else as well. This is not the end of my life staying here doing all these things. So that is where I decided to come back from US and explore a lot of things. And maybe that exploration only helped me today taking some very drastic changes in my drastic decisions in my life, and changes which have completely changed my whole career path and everything in my life. So I feel restlessness helps definitely, and sometimes it is very important to be restless. What do you say, Shitapa?
Absolutely, I can relate to you, and small steps are needed to push yourself to do something in life. And something similar had happened to me. I was very stuck with my corporate job, and I had started my writing journey during childhood times, and I used to write only for myself and my secret book. So I just write poems or thoughts or small paragraphs of my feelings, emotions for myself. But sometime down the line, I had this strong push within that I should write books to inspire people. I should write the experiences, how I have overcome, and share this insights with everyone to help them in their lives. So that was a thought always coming within me, but I was like, okay, today my life is very busy, maybe next year. And then I was just pushing it, but one day I just thought this will never start until I take baby steps towards it. And without even thinking too much, I just registered myself for an professional author course where I will be learning how to write, to publish, to market my books. And that was the first step. And gradually I was starting to write my book, and I wrote 200 words. I managed with my day to complete. In the end of the day, every day, I ensured that at least I write something for the book. So the little contribution kept growing with 200, 400, 600, and then I started writing 1,000 words in a day. And with no time, within 3 months, my book was published. and I was able to achieve the the uh, thought or vision I had for myself that I'll write books to inspire people. That was true, and within a span of 1.5 years, that same book was there to win an award, a luminary award, where I have achieved success, showing not only writing a book, publishing a book, but marketing my book well. So that's where I stand, and this inspires that baby steps really help to achieve big success. What do you think, Sujata? Can you add some more insights of these scenarios from the nonfiction book Tiny Habits?
Yes, BJ Fogg, he also says that we must have tiny habits. And just this is what just now Geeta also, while narrating the whole story, she also said that Robinson Crusoe, he doesn't simply rush into, big ventures. He builds his plantation taking tiny steps, small steps. So that's, see, it seems to me now that probably Crusoe had read BJ Fogg's Tiny Habits centuries before it was even written.
So true.
So it's the same site, the same parallel can be drawn. So what does Fogg say? He says, we never seem to have enough time. We eat sandwiches in our cars and take conference calls while we are holidaying. Why? Because we feel so pressed for time. The pressure leads to scarcity mindset. We feel that we'll never have enough time. And we say no to change because we don't have the hours. We feel that we don't have the hours to cultivate new positive habits. We think that 30 minutes of exercise, cooking a healthy dinner every night, writing daily in gratitude journal. So then we take it easy. Forget it. Who has the time? So Fox suggests you could start tiny. He gives an example. We promise our dentist that we'll floss daily. So he says that instead of committing to full flossing session, start by flossing one tooth at a time. Yes, one. Because it's so effortless that skipping it seems silly. Over time, that single tooth floss can lead to the full mouth routine, and your dentist will be so happy. Fogg also points out another thing. There's another concept which we can relate to this incident. He talks of anchoring new behaviors to existing ones. He suggests that by linking new habits to routines we already have, we can cultivate lasting change. After you brush your teeth every morning, drink a glass of water. This small, tiny habit ensures that you start your day well hydrated. And it links to an existing routine like brushing your teeth. So it makes it effortless. So, it's a refreshing way to kickstart your metabolism. And so remember, anchoring new habits to existing ones can really help you in life. So now, Jasbir, please share your experiences on this. Over to you, Jasbir.
Thank you, Sujata. I agree. Fogg has an amazing, idea that you should anchor your new habits to existing ones. From my life experience, I always wanted to meditate to have a calm state of mind because it helps to develop a better, attitude also. So I decided that mornings I'm too busy with some work or the other. So I decided that I'll, add my habit of meditation to my sleep routine. So just half an hour before I sleep, I started meditating for 5 minutes. And then step by step started increasing it. The 5 minutes went on to 15 and then to half an hour. And this not only helped me develop the habit of meditating, it helped me have a more restful, peaceful sleep, a better state of mind when I wake up, and a very positive attitude. So it's a very simple habit. It's something we always feel we are too hard pressed for time. We can't do this, we can't do that. But it's not so difficult. It's just a matter of including the tiny habit and adding it on with an existing routine. So this has really blessed me in a way that I've become a more peaceful, more relaxed and positive person. So I'm very happy about this habit. I would like to hand over to Geeta so she can let us know about Robinson Crusoe's journey further. Over to you, Geeta.
It's really amazing, Jasveer, that what you have described is all adding up to value in mindset. And it is definitely going to make a valuable addition to life. I wish Robinson Crusoe had known about this, but his mindset was really, it was varying. It was not at all stable. He is feeling very upset with himself because he wants to do better than what he is already doing. And then it so happened that like he's friendly with the community people. He also has learned Portuguese, and it so happened that he had shared with them his exploits on the ocean, and how they used to go on a expedition to bring slaves from Africa in the coast of Guinea, and it was there in their mind. So one night they came to him and told him, why not we go on a secret expedition, because it was not lawful. They had to get the permission of the Spanish, the king at that time. So why not we go on a expedition, secret expedition, and bring back slaves? And he need not have gone, and they told him, you can come free. We're not going to get, you don't have to bring anything, and you will get a share of slaves. And anybody who did not have any status in life would have jumped at that opportunity. But Robinson was then in a necessity to go, because in 2 years' time he would have been super rich, because everything was going very well for him, and his mind and his instinct, his emotions, his impulses, everything was screaming at him that it is not right, because he is now replicating the same thing which he did when he ran away from home 8 years back on the same day of September. And his the reasoning was so strong. He made a will, like leaving all his property to the kind captain, the captain of the ship, and also the widow of the captain who was holding his money. So half of it go to her. And with all this in place, he set sail with the 11, people, himself included 12, and they set sail on the ocean. And immediately, they on their journey itself, everything was going very bad. The ocean was very stormy, and the high, the waves were just washing over the ship, the stern of the ship, and it was just like it was going to sink. And they quickly got into a boat to try to escape, but the waves washed them. They separated them, and they were all thrown into the waters. And Robinson finds himself thrice, thrown into the beach somewhere, and carried back to the ocean and thrown again. But his instinct for survival is so strong. He runs and crawls and gets away from the wave, and he takes shelter on a thorny tree, so that he won't be eaten alive by wild beasts, or killed by anything that is in the island. And he spends the night. In the morning, he gets up and sees that it is peaceful there, and that ship is washed ashore, and he feels so sad there. He doesn't have anything with him. He has just a pouch of tobacco, and he has got one knife. Nothing else. He has no water, no food, and he runs around screaming and crying, and he sheds tears, because if everybody had stood, we were there in the ship, instead of getting into the boat, everybody would have survived. But now everybody else, everybody except Robinson has they have perished, and only he has survived. And he thinks this is a lesson, that just like he would have stayed where he was as a prosperous planter, and he need not have come on a journey, same way life is teaching a lot of lessons. So I feel so amazed at what has happened and what is teaching him, and how even in spite of his impulses and his reasoning telling him not to go, he has gone. So, and what do you feel, Siddharth? Is such a thing that is happening? Is it really relatable to us? Because when people when they disregard their impulses, what is really going to happen? Do you share your reflection on that, Siddharth?
Definitely, Dr. Geeta. I feel impulsiveness and if we disregard our signs, right, it doesn't help anytime. I always take it as a negative thing, because uh, we basically, when we are reacting to something, it is more based on our quick decisions, which might have lots of flaws in it, and we would not have seen it like in a planned way. We would not have looked at in details, and that is where we lose a lot of insights from signals and signs which are telling us something. And this helps us. It doesn't help us. It basically helps us towards makes us go toward the downside and not come out with success. So I think I have seen it in my life when I was in projects where there were like quick timelines put in, and nobody had thought about it, because the customer said that I want that done in these many days, and we were just looking and listening to him, the customer, and we were just taking rough decisions at that time. But then when we got into the execution mode, we realized that this is missing, that is missing, so many things are there, and suffered in uh, we suffered in not delivering those projects in time, and that was really bad. So I have seen this in my life, and I feel that impulsive decisions don't help us. uh, we need to be more mindful while we are in this type of a mode where our impulse is saying something, our body is saying something else, our mind is confused. Then we should relax, we should take a deep breath and we should think why we are doing this. If we are able to find the mindful reason of the step we are going to take, then that would be a much better thing to go ahead with rather than taking an impulsive decision. So that's my take on it. But I would love to know from Sujata ji about what uh, the tiny habits talks about in this regard.
Yes. Thank you, Siddharth. As you said, what you feel, the gut feeling that prompts you that you should not take some decision that you take. And that's what Crusoe also did. The gut feeling was there that he may not survive, so he prepared the will. But then he went ahead and set sail. Course, he said sail. So it's emotions which are so important. They prompt you. But very often, as you said, we ignore our inner emotions. We are not so mindful. That's the word you used. We are not so mindful about our emotions. And actually, Fox says that emotions create habits. And this is the foundational concept of his tiny habits methodology. He says tiny doesn't rely on motivation or willpower. It's emotions. Like when we experience strong emotions like fear, excitement, regret, they catalyze our behavior. They lead to behavior change. So he recounts an incident. One night he couldn't sleep well. So in the morning when he woke up, he thought the day would not be good. Then he glanced at the mirror while early morning, while brushing his teeth, picked up the floss and thought to himself, well, even if everything else goes wrong today, I'm not a total failure. At least I flossed one tooth. So and he smiled in the mirror and said one word to himself, victory. And then he felt it. Something changed. It was like a warm space had opened up in his chest. He felt calm and even a little energized. And this made him feel that way again. So next time, before you do anything, if your gut whispers not to do it, listen to it, be mindful. Our emotions are insightful guides. They will push us towards better decisions and habits. And at the end of the book, he also gives 100 ways to celebrate. He says, listen to songs you love, physical movements, verbal statements, visualizations, whatever you like. So it's always better to anchor your a new habit to a positive emotion rather than find yourself stranded. So now, Jasbir, I would like to hear from you what you would like to say on this. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sujata. Yes, I completely agree. Yes, it's an amazing thing, this gut instinct. Because when I was working with Bank of Nova Scotia, we used to get our bonus every year in December. And gut instinct said that we need to invest this wisely because all this money will be of help in the long term. And there were so many opinions I used to get from people. Someone said, why don't you invest in a house? It's a fixed asset. You'll have it when you retire, you'll have a house of your own. And there were many opinions, at that time. Someone said, why don't you invest in stocks in the stock market? But I wisely decided that the right thing to do is invest this money in mutual funds through a SIP. So a monthly investment in the mutual fund was a very wise decision because today, 20 years later, now when I look at it, that investment that I made, if I had invested in a flat, I would have earned only 5%. And vis-a-vis now, my mutual fund portfolio shows me a return of 17%, which is marvelous. So we need to go with our gut instinct. At the same time, be mindful about what we need to do about any decisions that we take in life because they have these long-term impact. Being impulsive is never the right thing. It's always better to be mindful and then take action. So I'd like to hand over to Shitapa. Shitapa, please let us know what do you think and what are your opinions on this. Thank you.
Yeah, I can relate to what you and Sujata said just now. And I have a very funny incident to share on, going through the instinct and following it and not following it. You will get to know right now. I was a small child, just maybe, I was in class three that time, and I had visited my grandparents' home, and it's in a beautiful village surrounded by hills, and that's where I had gone to spend my summer holiday. So it was a sunny day, and me and my sister, we thought to go and check a pond which is there, which has a nice jamun tree in near that pond, and we will go and explore the place. So that time my grandparent was there and he was resting in the room and he said, it's very sunny outside and a little bit windy. Do not go now. I was like, okay, it's sunny and windy is not a problem. We can manage. You give me your nice big umbrella. So I will be fine with that. And He was like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, yeah. Sun is fine, wind is okay. I will manage." So he gave his nice black umbrella to me, and my sister and I, we walked towards the pond. So my sister was saying, "Don't run. Already it is windy and you are very thin." And I was like, "Arey, it's okay. Nothing will happen. I'm fine." And I started rolling because it was a down, hill towards the pond. And when I was walking, suddenly I saw that umbrella was very strong. It was that ancient days umbrella, which is, wooden umbrella, big black umbrella. It is much stronger than me. So when I was holding, I realized after a few minutes that I am no more walking. I'm almost flying. So, so my sister is running from behind and telling me, "Stop that, leave that umbrella, get rid of your fear. You will fall from a lower height. You just do that." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." I was feeling that if this, I was just getting that instinct that if the wind is too much, my weight is not much, I might fly. This was something I was thinking, and if I fall from up, I will really get hurt, is what I was getting as an instinct. But I was like, "I will hold the umbrella. Don't worry, I will hold the umbrella. I can manage." Usually, always she holds it, but that day I insisted and I took it from her, and I thought I will manage. I will do. And I took off. My sister is almost like when I'm flying really high now. She said, "Now at least leave. It's a land. You will fall in the fields. No problem. Because if you fall in the pond, I don't know swimming." She is yelling from back. And I was so scared. I couldn't leave the umbrella and I almost reached towards the pond. And that's when I felt now there is no choice. I don't know swimming. She doesn't know swimming. I have to leave the umbrella. And I dropped. Okay. And I dropped, unfortunately, in a thorny plant, and I got hurt also badly because that was no choice. The place is almost like that. There, it's very close to the pond, and I fell there. And that time she was laughing. That, "See, I was telling you, get rid of your fear and drop it in the right place rather than beside the pond, and you have messed up." So when I don't listen to my instinct now, I realize that incident, that if you are feeling that yes, this is something which may happen, better follow your instinct and protect yourself from disasters. So with this, I think I can relate everyone here, and I think we had a wonderful session where we learned that how small steps of we can take to towards change, and repeatedly how we can take small steps to reach the success, as well as how step by step, if we follow the emotions we have created in the habits, that can emotions can build habit, is what we learned from Sujata ji. And Jasbir also added a good, insight on following her instinct and how she could save amount of money. And yes, Siddharth's amazing insights on how he has, taken risk and changed life for a bigger purpose with small steps in place. With this, I close our conversation today with beautiful insights from these two books, and I hope to meet all of y'all again on the same show, same time, in this YouTube channel with a lot more insights from these two books. So stay tuned with us, follow us, the Brunch with Books channel, and we will be here to share some more funny insights, some invaluable treasures from these century old books. So goodbye, take care, bye bye.